Spectre is directed by Sam Mendes and stars Daniel Craig, Ben Whishaw, Christoph Waltz, among other people, Dave Bautista, those people. And I have a person with me.
Hey everyone, James Tell here.
You recognize him?
Yeah, I'm from
I hope you recognize.
Fantastic Four.
If you watched my videos long enough, you know who he is. So, yeah, we saw Spectre today. I'm gonna explain the plot because I probably should have done that before I introduced you. But Spectre is about Bond for the 24th time, and this time he finds out that all the villains he has fought in the past three movies before this, are all hooked to this one guy named Overhauser, played by Christoph Waltz, and they're all part of this organization called Spectre. And, well, that's all I can really say, because that's all you need to know. And, hopefully you can hear me. Well, I'll turn up the volume on the actual thing, but, yeah, that's the general gist of the movie, and I've seen almost every, at the moment, as you're all watching this, I have seen every Bond movie ever made, but I still have two more to actually see later, but yeah. So, I'll let you talk first, just so you can get your...
Yeah, the movie was really good, and, yeah, the movies have been going on for a very long time.
Yep.
How long have it been?
Since 1962, so
yeah,
53 years.
It's a really long time. I love James Bond is a pretty good actor.
Pretty good actor. James Bond's the character, not the actor. But yeah, I get what you mean.
You know what I mean.
I know what you mean. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, Daniel Craig. He's really good in this movie. Among with his other cast members. And while I heard complaints that Christoph Waltz is very underused, I would agree. But I think he's used in the best way possible. Though he's not the best Bond villain I've ever seen. He's still a very nice psychological villain, and he can mess with Bond psychologically and destroy him. But first, we're gonna start off with the action. We're gonna start with the opening action sequence, which is a big tracking shot, which means the camera falls. Oh, yeah. The camera just kept moving and moving; it didn't stop rolling.
I know.
So that was cool.
Like, there was a lot of movement in there.
But yeah, they wouldn't stop rolling, so that was cool. And the big tracking shot opening scene, and there's a big action scene, and I'm just like gripping my fist, and I'm like, yay, this is intense. And there's some really realistically intense moments, and there's also some really unrealistically intense moments. So it kind of balances out, I guess. The action is fantastic. It's all white knuckly.
It was pretty interesting throughout the whole
pump
movie.
Sweater, mom spaghetti. Yeah, the action is very sweet, and same with the sleek look it is given by a cinematographer. I forgot his name, but you do a good job, whoever you are. Yeah, I don't remember. And Sam Mendes directs this movie really well, along with the last one, Skyfall, which, while that's a superior movie in every way, it's not really fair to compare this to Skyfall, because Skyfall was coming off of freaking Quantum of Solace, which is big.
Yeah, what's really surprising is that every single one of these movies are 2 hours, higher than 2 hours.
True. Yeah, this one's the longest one so far, but it feels shorter than it actually is, so I can give it that, I guess.
I'm not. I don't know.
Good, that's fine. The cast is really good. Everyone works together pretty well. I forgot her name, but the main Bond girl in this movie.
Oh yeah.
Her. They have great chemistry, her and Daniel Craig, and the romance there worked for me at least. A lot of people said that didn't work for them, but that was nice and genuine for me. And the way this ties into Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall was really good. He hasn't seen any of those, so he doesn't know what the heck that was. But you don't have to see them to understand.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of movies that I don't expect to watch 2 hours each.
Well, I think the movie is really fun. It has a really compelling climax, to me at least. Once again, another problem I heard was the climax. I don't see why. I get that there's some really unrealistic little bits in there.
Yeah, some of the the catchy things is that there's some unrealistic scenes,
some really gritty scenes.
James Bond, he was shooting a helicopter with this tiny little pistol,
that was.
The muzzle was
probably funny, but
the barrel was probably 3 inches long, and he destroyed the whole helicopter. I'm not really sure if that's physically possible.
Yeah, it's not physically possible. But
I mean,
don't worry about the plot holes. I mean, come
and he
on.
was like really far away.
It's Bond. I mean, it's more serious than like your typical Bond, but still.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had a lot of fun with that. I thought it was really enjoyable. It has great action in it. But there are definitely problems with the movie. I feel like the first half of the movie, while really good, was a little slow to get started. And then once you do meet Christoph Waltz, he disappears for half the movie, and then he comes back. And
A little bit.
that,
Not really half
that
the
isn't
movie.
that isn't a huge problem, but that's just something I needed to address. And I feel like the script itself is the main problem with the movie. It wants to dive like really like have a personal story for Bond, and I feel like it just retreated into formula too much. Like, for example, he orders his shaken not stirred drink in this movie, and like he usually does in the older ones. And there's the barrel sequence at the beginning instead of like the middle, or well, it wasn't in the middle, but after the opening or at the end, like in Skyfall. But yeah, because it retreats into normal Bond territory this time, and while that's not a huge problem because I like the older ones, most of them at least. I feel like it strayed away too much from being the emotionally effective, I guess, experience for Bond as it wants to be. I feel.
Yeah, I mean, it would go from like lots of action to like not really any action.
That's fine. The story,
Yeah,
the story in between
like,
that's really interesting. But the
Yeah, I
thing
know.
with that is that, as I said, if they want to make it this really personal story, but it always like retreats into another action scene or something, and kind of spaces out. It's like, no, we're too scared to go that dark.
Yeah, a lot of
So,
killing.
no.
A lot of killing in this movie.
Well, man,
Not-
there's the same way in all of them, but it's
Yeah.
always the same way. But
So it makes it
Yeah.
kind of really interesting.
just as I said, it just retreats into formula a little too much. I don't want to repeat myself too much, but that's really all I have to say. But so as a whole, I actually think Spectre is one of the best Bond movies we've had because a lot of them are
Yeah.
just really cheesy and stupid. But in general, it's
But hey,
way-
this is a
way-
newer movie than all of the
Yeah.
other ones.
It is way better though than Quantum of Solace. It is it's not way better than Casino Royale and Skyfall. It's not as good as those movies, but it's still really a really good companion piece, if you will. So I'm gonna give Spectre a B+.
And I will give Spectre, I will give a B+ because it's really good, although it's not the best. And
Yeah.
yeah.
Definitely got some script issues, but it is a good movie. Overall, I'd say see it in the theater. I definitely say see it in the theater. It's worth seeing in the theater. This has been the year of spy movies, so I guess it would make sense to see it in the theater. But so if check out my last video, or technically for me it would be my next video, but my last video, which is me reviewing every single Bond movie leading up to this one.
Yeah, that
and
seems like
yeah, that's really all I have to say.
lot.
So, but yeah, so that was my review of Spectre with this person. So, peace.
James Patel.